Welcome, spiritual travelers, to another Mystic Owl Pick a Card reading. Today the theme is going to be about Venus Retrograde, which starts on May 13th and goes all the way through to June 25th, occurring in the star sign of Gemini. Venus Retrograde is a period for us to reassess our relationship with other people, also to assess our relationship with ourselves and what we feel our values are, what we need to change in our life to be more in line with our true self and our values, how we treat other people and how we expect to be treated. So it's a good period for you to reassess what you want in your relationships that you currently have in life, and whether they're actually in line with who you are as a person or who you want to be too. We have 4 piles here today. We have pile number 1 with the Australian jasper, I think it is, in the shape of a love heart. Lovely. We have pile 2 with the lime green opal. Pile 3 with the hematite stone. And pile 4 with the clear quartz seer stone. Please, as per usual, have a look over the piles, use your intuition. Each pile will have a separate theme as to what you may be confronting during Venus retrograde, things that may come to surface about your relationships and your values. Remember, this is a general reading, so take only that which resonates with you and leave the rest behind. And on that, let's move on to pile 1. So, they're pile 1 with the Australian Harlequin jasper stone in the shape of a love heart. What a beautiful omen for you. Let's find out what this Venus retrograde period is going to bring in for you by looking at your oracle cards. First card you have is the card of number 23, big picture. Beautiful. You can see that there's a key that's sparkling that she's about to pick up. I think maybe you'll be unlocking something, tapping into some sort of deep subconscious behavior, potentially. You have the solar plexus chakra. Lovely. Number 8. You have the divine consciousness card. Number 49. Interconnection, expansion, oneness, and light. And light. Awesome. And your final card is number 2. And the clover. Beautiful. Four-leaf clovers being a lucky charm. What I am getting for you straight away, pile 1, you've got number 8 here, which is the number of luck and fortitude. And the four-leaf clover. I sense that this period will allow you to do some deep inner work, which will then sort of bring in something really positive at the end. I am sensing that you, with the card here of number 49, interconnection and oneness, that this is about how you relate to other people, your interpersonal relationships, and maybe about putting yourself first too, about how you would like to be treated, and what is important to you, your own values in interpersonal relationships, in terms of how people sort of respond to you, how you interact with people. With number 23 in the big picture, as I said earlier, I sense that you're sort of unlocking something from your deep subconscious. And with the clock here in card number 2 and clover, I think it's your time to shine in some way. You've got the sun here in the solar plexus chakra, which is the center for pleasure, creativity, sensuality, and sexuality. And also this light really sort of shining bright from the divine consciousness card. I think it's your time to really shine. And I think it's in terms of how you interact with other people. I see this as a positive reading so far. I sense that you're actually tapping into something new and exciting, potentially meeting your soul tribe, those people that you're meant to connect with that actually bring out the best aspects in you and really sort of lift you up, and sort of push you forward in life, carry you forward with confidence and love. Yeah, it's really cool. Let's get the message from the guidebook for number 23 in Big Picture and see what that has to say. Number 23, Big Picture. Belladonna is said to open the chakras and expand consciousness. Ah, okay, wow. Divine consciousness here in 4049. Malachi activates psychic vision. Can be used for scrying and helps to focus on what is important. When situations feel chaotic, confused, or unsolvable, it is easy to feel frustrated and thrown in the towel. I think they should say throw in the towel. What is missing here is the key to understanding it all. There is more going on than meets the physical eye. Clear and open your chakras and allow your consciousness to expand. See the big picture and the key will be revealed. I step back from chaos into calm. I allow myself to see the bigger picture. I trust the key I seek will be revealed. Okay. I am also seeing the bigger picture in this message for you, Pile 1. I do sense that you've been looking for your soul tribe. You felt a little bit maybe lost in the past. The relationships that you have really just aren't sort of bringing out the biggest and brightest parts of yourself. They're not allowing you to be the most authentic self. I think you're actually coming into a time where you'll be meeting a whole bunch of new people that are your soul tribe. All those people that you really resonate on a higher frequency that actually understand you at a deeper level and have similar interests. They can really support you to follow on your journey in life. I do sense that you've probably been working from the divine masculine side of life a little bit more and trying to really take control of all situations. That there's a need for you to sort of always be in control with work or with your relationships, your finances. But what I am sensing during this period, Pile 1, during Venus retrograde, is that you'll tap into your solar plexus chakra and that feminine energy of going with the flow a little bit more and allowing things to come to you, being open to receiving from the universe, and expanding your consciousness in terms of understanding why the relationships that you may have had in the past haven't always been the best, and that it's time to sort of let go of some of those relationships and actually bring in those people that are meant to have your back and push you forward in life. I am sensing that you're unlocking some sort of inner knowledge from your deep subconscious about relinquishing control and having more faith in the divine, and knowing that all will be okay if you put yourself first, relax and go with the flow, with the energy of the universe, that the divine has your back and will be bringing these people towards you. This could be an intimate relationship too, I sense. If you've been really sort of looking for someone, a partner or a lover, I do sense that your time is coming soon, Pile 1. With the clock here in the Clover Spirit, which being a lucky omen, and the Divine Consciousness card with interconnection and oneness, I sense that your relationships will be enhancing. You'll be getting more out of them. And I do sense that you'll be meeting somebody truly special that can be everything you ever wanted. On that, Pile 1, let's get some further insight from the universe about what you can expect during Venus retrograde. We've got here the Commonplace Tarot deck. Let's get some cards, shall we? I am seeing, Pile 1, that you're just going to start relaxing into this energy a little bit more. Start assessing your own values, what you want from a relationship, and how some people may or may not be serving you. Really keeping the relationships that will be benefiting you in the future, that is sort of a mutual relationship where you both give and receive. And any of those relationships that have just been for growth that aren't serving you anymore, I do sense that you'll be moving forward because you've got some better things coming in. There's a lot of indication of some luck and fortitude coming your way at the end of this period. And I think it's because you'll be just relaxing into this energy a little bit more and allowing the universe to bring things your way. The clock also reminds me a little bit of the karmic wheel, that you're at the end of a cycle. Maybe things haven't gone so well with you in relationships in the past, your intimate relationships. You've got the circle here and the clock, along with the solar plexus chakra card too. There's a lot of circles here indicating the end of a certain cycle. If you've really struggled with interpersonal relationships, I do sense that you'll start to overcome that. Okay, the first card that came out is the Eight of Swords in the upright position, which is a kind of self-restriction. I think that you, I am sensing that you have had some issues with interpersonal relationships in the past, and I do sense it's because you get in your own head a little bit about, I guess, just about the relationship in general, how people think about you. You sort of self-sabotage relationships by overthinking, wondering what people think, if they care for you, how, if the relationship is right for you, if they have the same feelings for you. And because of that, I do sense that relationships haven't always gone so well. But you got the moon here. Also, there was an indication from number 23 in Big Picture that you could be sort of tapping into some more psychic awareness too. The moon being about your psychic abilities. And the solar plexus chakra is the center related to water and emotions. I do sense that during this time you'll start to love yourself a little bit more and really start to tap into some deeper wisdom about why relationships haven't always gone your way. And you'll start to sort of release this negative energy and free yourself from this bind of always having to worry about whether this person is right for you or not, whether they like you or they don't like you, whether they've got your best interest at heart or not, basically. Your next card is the King of Pentacles. Lovely. And your final tarot card is Temperance in reverse. I see that as the energy that you're overcoming. So there's been a little bit of emotional instability here with the solar plexus chakra and Temperance being in the reverse and the water sort of flowing between the cups. I sense that you haven't always been quite confident of your place in certain relationships in the past. Potentially you have a little bit of self-doubt or are quite anxious and nervous around certain people. But the King of Pentacles is a really confident archetype, someone that has a lot of confidence in their own abilities and their own ability to look after themselves and to also provide for themselves and other people around them. I do sense that in the future, post Venus Retrograde, you're going to be in a place of sort of truly understanding yourself and being a lot more confident in who you are, and only really giving time to those people that have your back and that there's a mutual sort of relationship in terms of giving and taking. Those people that really care for you and take you forward in life. I see you with the solar plexus chakra here and the divine consciousness. I see you being this light really sort of bursting from your core and really shining your light to the world. I see a lot of brightness and fortitude in your near future. Part 1. Finally, let's get some further messages from the universe from the Dragon Oracle deck. Ooh. You're coming into alignment, Part 1. So you've got a lot of different energy here. There's what looks like fire energy coming out of the divine consciousness. You've got water energy with the solar plexus chakra and Temperance here. Air energy in the Eight of Swords, and earth energy with the King of Pentacles and the bigger picture card, I do see you coming into alignment and really starting to shine your light. Okay, so your two cards that have come out for you. The first one here is Golden Orange Dragon. Expand your light for ascension. Yeah, okay. You are coming into alignment. I love it when this happens in tarot readings where the thing that I'm saying is confirmed instantly by the card that comes out. Be a peaceful warrior. Help those in need. Remember your magnificence. Okay. Expand your light for ascension. Interesting. So you are ascending. You're starting to... This Venus retrograde period is allowing you to really tap into some inner knowledge. You'll be doing some self-reflection and understanding what your values are and how you want to be treated in relationships. And in putting yourself forward in terms of what you expect from other people. But you also have a gift here. Be a peaceful warrior. Help those in need. I sense that you'll also be reassessing your values in terms of how you treat other people. Being a lot more generous and courteous to people, I sense, also Power One. And starting to see things from the bigger picture in terms of why your relationships haven't always gone the way that you had expected in the past. And your next card is Kuan Ying's Pink Dragon. What a beautiful card. Brings firm love that resets your karmic balance. There you go. Okay, see all your cords dissolved by transcendent love. Enjoy your freedom. Look for the divine around you. Okay, look for the divine around you. Interesting, that's the same color too. So Power One, you're really coming into alignment and you are ascending. You are tapping into some inner knowledge and really sort of having more faith in the divine and flowing with the universe and the energies of the universe. In terms of letting go of relationships that haven't worked, but also sort of allowing further relationships to come towards you, your soul tribe, that will benefit you greatly in terms of really progressing your life. I do see you having a bit of a purpose and reassessing your values in terms of what your priorities are and how you want to treat people. I do sense that you have some wisdom that you can tap into, that you can share and help and guide others also, Power One. And just know that this is your time to shine. This is a beautiful reading. I'm just loving the synchronicities with the colors too, with the purple here. Venus retrograde isn't going to be so hard for you, I think, Power One, except that you need to do some work in terms of how you treat yourself. But that's all I have for you. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile 2. Hello, pile 2, with the lime green opal stone. Let's find out what this Venus retrograde period will be bringing up for you to assess by looking at your oracle cards. Your first card is number 4 in house. Interesting. I love all of those little pictures, the silhouettes in the lockets. Maybe these are people that you keep dear to your heart, and it's about your relationship with your family members and dear friends, those people that you call family. You have number 14 and grace, which is also about your relationship to yourself, how you treat yourself, the things that you say, and what you expect from other people. You have insight, number 42, beautiful. I love this card. Understanding, awakening, awareness, and self-evaluation. There you go, self-evaluation, okay. And you have number 32, self-expression, vocalization, individuality, inner voice, and assertiveness. Right. So the keywords that are really standing out for me there are assertiveness and self-evaluation. And number 14, grace, which is about how you treat yourself, the things that you say. I do sense that this period, Venus retrograde for you, pile 2, you will be doing some reassessment and some introspection about how you treat yourself, the things that you say to yourself, the relationship that you have with yourself. I think that sometimes maybe you're not always the kindest to yourself, and it's time to start being more kind and gentle to yourself. Standing up for your own beliefs, using your voice also in terms of communicating how you're feeling, and not letting people sort of walk all over you or put you down. Because what I do sense for you, pile too, is that sometimes people can put you down or make you feel not so big, and then you end up potentially beating yourself up too. I am also noticing, which I picked up on in pile 1 too, there's a lot of circles in this reading. Lots of circles everywhere, which are always an indication to me of the end of a karmic cycle. They're potentially a period where you haven't always been the most assertive in terms of how you treat yourself or how you allow others to treat you is coming to an end, and you're coming into a lot more willpower and self-discipline, finding your self-esteem. With the card of house number 4 here, I sense that potentially there's some issues with some family members. Maybe your relationship with your family members aren't the best that they could be. And I do sense that during this period, pile 2, you'll have the chance to really reassess in your own mind those relationships and be a bit more in control of how people communicate to you and the things that they say. But I also sense that with the card of insight and awareness, that you're going to start to actually see things from a different perspective. Maybe start to let your guard down a little bit in terms of starting to understand why some certain family members or dear friends haven't always treated you the best, or why they have a different opinion to you, and start to actually understand from their perspective their viewpoints, I think. Which means that you're sort of opening your heart up and actually allowing some further insight in terms of not always having to be so stubborn. Yeah, let's get some further insight for you, pile 2, for this Venus retrograde period. From the 5-cent tarot deck, there's one card already. But with the Nightingale and the self-expression card here, there is a need for you to really stand up for yourself and communicate some issues that may have been on your mind for a while. And I think that will be the start of actually sort of recouping relationship that may not have gone the best over recent times. That you actually taking those first steps in terms of actually expressing how you feel will open up the communication channel, and be that first step in terms of resolving some of these relationships that you really hold quite dear to your heart, with the light shining from the woman's heart center here. Also with house, home is where the heart is, right? I do sense that you're very close to your family. And when things aren't going so well at home, it really quite affects you and how you feel and the things that you say to yourself. Okay. Ooh. Your first card is the King of Pentacles in reverse, which is interesting because that came out for pile 1, but that was in the upright position. Yeah, the King of Pentacles being the archetype of actually being the supporter and provider. A lot of material wealth and being sort of very generous, kind, likes to look after other people, and just knows that they have everything they need, that they can be quite independent and look after themselves too. I am picking up on the energy of the fact that you maybe haven't always been the kindest to yourself and have been a little bit harsh in terms of your own self-belief and what you can actually achieve on your own. You've got here the 3 of Pentacles too, lots of earth energy here. And your final card is the 2 of Swords in reverse. Which I sense means that you've been procrastinating really in terms of actually communicating. Swords being the suit of the mind, air energy, communication, and your thoughts, that you've sort of struggled or just been putting off actually dealing with a certain issue at home. You haven't communicated or tried to resolve these issues, and it's really started to weigh you down. You're not really being or feeling your best at the moment. But during this retrograde period, I do sense that you'll start to actually address these issues and put yourself first. Have a deeper understanding on why these issues have arisen to start with, because you'll allow yourself to see things from other people's perspectives, which would be the first step in terms of actually sort of resolving any conflict. Before we move on, I'm just going to get the message for number 14 and Grace to see what that has to say. Grace, Rue, encourages self-acceptance, receptivity to grace, and bring the physical and spiritual into harmony. Kunzai encourages miracles and love. We can be our own worst critics. There you go. Okay. Berating yourself separates you from the divine grace, which is a gift freely given to all. To receive grace and divine love, you must accept yourself and realize you are worthy. See yourself through the eyes of grace. You, after all, carry a spark of the divine in your heart. I am a child of the divine. I honor and value myself. I know that I am worthy of love and grace from the divine and from others, including myself. There you go. Okay. So I am sensing that for you, Pal, too, your self-esteem has been a little bit low over the last year or two. Here. That you have been like the King of Pentacles in reverse, just a little bit doubting your own abilities, really. And I do sense that it's affecting relationships at home. Either that or these relationships have really caused a lot of self-doubt in your own abilities and your self-confidence. But with the card of insight here, I do sense that you are starting to really tap into some knowledge or inner wisdom in terms of what you can do, what you can achieve, and how much love you have to give people around you. You're a very sort of a gregarious person. You like to be around your family and friends. People turn to you for wisdom and insight, I sense, also when they're struggling. But it's time for you to give that love to yourself and start looking after yourself a little bit more and start to actually take stock of these relationships and be the one that opens up that channel of communication. Let's get some further messages for you, Pal, too, from the Dragon Oracle deck. Yeah, with the Two of Swords in reverse, I see a bit of stagnation or an avoidant energy, just not wanting to deal with certain issues. You've just buried them deep down and not wanted to like face these problems. But I do sense that when you take that first step, that you'll be. I do sense that when you start communicating, that you have the power within you to really end these issues, these cycles that you've been going through over and over. Because I do sense that you're a very loving individual and that you just want the best for your friends and family too. There's your next card. The first card you have here, Earth and Fire Dragon. Works with you to clear the fifth dimensional ley lines. It is time for service. When you give, you receive. Interesting. Oh my. Okay, this came out also for pile 1. There are similarities here for pile 1 too, so if you were deliberating between which messages to go to, pile 1 may have something in there for you also, pile 2. Golden Orange Dragon, expand your light for ascension, be a peaceful warrior, help those in need, remember your magnificence. Okay, so you've got a card here that says to help those in need. And the card that says here, it is time for service. When you give, you receive. I do sense also for you, Pal, too, that you're strengthening your connection with the divine, and you have the gift of being a channel, of being able to communicate divine wisdom to people that really need help. And I sense that it starts at home for you, that there's some relationships that you need to take control of, whether it be your friends and family. There's some people there that are really struggling and need some help and some wisdom, and that you are the one that they've always turned to in times of need and support. But also I sense that you need to sort of look after yourself first and come into that place of self-love, so that then you can actually share that love and wisdom with other people around you. It's time to take the blindfold off and realize that you have a lot of power and control. And this retrograde period is going to be a period of introspection and realizing how strong you are. That you have the opportunity to really work from your heart center and to tap into some inner wisdom and share your wisdom with your family and friends and the world. That's what I have for you, pile 2. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile 3. Welcome, pile 3 with the hematite stone. Stone related to balance in life. Let's find out what you'll be dealing with during the Venus retrograde in terms of your values and how you relate to other people by looking at your oracle cards. Well, let's start with this one. You have number 1 and boundaries. Interesting. Oh, okay. You have number 14 and money, finances, power, generosity, and abundance. So the card of boundaries and the card of money, potentially it's about your value system in terms of your spending, your priorities, where you put your money, who you give your money to, what you spend your money on, savings. Ooh, you have the card of pleasure. Number 10, enjoyment, beauty, sensuality, and indulgence. Interesting. Oh, and you have number 28, the card of man, with the lion there. I sense this period for you, pile 3, is about your value system in terms of self-care. I am sensing that potentially you're quite a generous being, with the word of generosity here, actually. I didn't even notice that. That quite often you can give yourself away to people too much. You've got a lot of orange here. Pleasure and money. There's also some orange in the man card too. I do sense that you work from a very feminine perspective. You're very caring, nurturing, kind, and generous, and that quite often you can sort of give too much of yourself over to other people, and you need to set clear boundaries in terms of looking after yourself. I am sensing that potentially the way that you care for other people is being very generous with your money, giving to people in need, or maybe your family and friends come to you when they're in a little bit of strife and they need some finances to get out of trouble, or that you're always giving away to charity, or to people in need, which is a really beautiful thing. But sometimes you need to look after yourself too. You need to start saving so that you have enough for your future and for a rainy day. I also sense here with the card of pleasure, enjoyment, beauty, sensuality, and indulgence, that sometimes you need to indulge yourself, to really sort of give yourself a little bit more self-love. Take some time for yourself to look after yourself and treat yourself so that you can operate from that solar plexus chakra more abundantly and be that kind and generous, caring person that you are. With the card of man, 28, and the lion here, I am sensing that that's about getting some willpower and determination in terms of how you sort of, in terms of putting up boundaries, basically. If people keep coming to you and you keep giving out to them and you're not getting anything in return, it really drains your energy, and it just leaves you feeling sort of resentful. You get down on yourself too for allowing other people to sort of walk all over you occasionally, I sense, pile 3. But the man card, number 28, I think is operating from that solar plexus chakra in terms of actually being more courageous and having more power, in terms of saying no to people sometimes when you can't actually give anything away, when you've given all you can. You need to look after yourself a little bit more and start taking care of your own needs too. I think it's time for you to start treating yourself a little bit more, pile 3. To maybe get a massage or a facial, or take a few days off and go to the beach. Spend some time with friends, indulge, enjoy the finer things in life. I am also sensing, I'm picking up on an energy here with the card of pleasure, and with the woman sitting here and the man in 28. I am sensing that there's potential for a relationship to develop during this retrograde period. Well, a relationship that you have could blossom into something else, but just be mindful that during retrograde periods, things aren't always as they seem. It's about reassessing those relationships in terms of determining whether they are within our best interest, whether we are getting and receiving in equal proportion, if these people around us are actually benefiting our lives, or sort of tearing us down and maybe taking advantage a little bit. But yeah, let's see what the rest of the cards have to say, because I do sense an energy of a relationship blossoming into something quite abundant. Before we move on, let's just get the message from the guidebook for number 1, boundaries. Boundaries. Yarrow helps establish and defend healthy boundaries, strengthening the aura and sense of self, and heals energetic wounds. Amber reinforces boundaries. Creating clear boundaries is necessary for maintaining good emotional, physical, and spiritual health. If your sense of identity is weak, or if you need to heal energetic wounds, establishing boundaries is vital. Defend your right to thrive like a warrior, serving the divine spark that resides within you. I have a right to autonomy and independence. No one controls me without my permission. I know who I am. Okay. So with man spirit, the card of pleasure, and boundaries, it's about you actually taking control of your own life and really sort of operating more from that solar plexus chakra, setting up strong boundaries about what is right and wrong in your own value system, not letting people sort of dictate to you their own opinions or their beliefs, but standing up for yourself, looking after yourself too, putting some money away and doing things that make you feel happy and bring out the best in you. This period is about your own values. What are your priorities and how you can look after yourself better? Okay, pile 3, let's get some further messages from the universe about Venus Retrograde from the 5 Centauri deck. Whoop. Yeah, I was thinking originally that maybe you had some issues with money. You needed to put up some boundaries in terms of how you spend your money and giving it away. And that's still potentially something that needs to be addressed, but I'm sensing that you need to actually spend a little bit more time on your own, looking after yourself and not giving so much of yourself away to others. That your self-care is just as important as the self-care or the care that you give to other people. Because I do sense that's out of balance at this point in time. It's not quite in balance yet, that you're giving too much away and you're not receiving. There's your last card. Okay, there you go. Wow, interesting. Ace of Cups. Nice, which is emotional fulfillment, creativity, something, pleasure, basically. Ace of Cups is pleasure and emotional fulfillment, which I think has been lacking in your life potentially because you haven't had clear boundaries in terms of where you spend your time, who you give your time to, who you give your money to, where you invest your money. And you do need to invest in yourself a little bit more so that that's balanced, so that you have self-care and self-love too. What I am picking up on for you, pile 3, is that you have a dream that isn't coming into fruition or that you haven't spent time working on. And this dream will bring satisfaction and joy, a lot of pleasure. You need to follow your dream. The Star card is about inspiration and divinity and your dreams coming true. I think you've been giving way too much time to other people and not sort of focusing on your own needs and your own dreams. And it's time for you to really start investing in your dreams, working at your goals and your dreams over time, very slowly, like the Knight of Pentacles, which is all about things coming into fruition, but one step at a time. Yeah, I think in terms of being that martyr that is always giving, it's time for you to start giving to yourself and following your dreams, pile 3. You need to be that cup and refill your own cup so that then when you are happy and that you've got enough money to look after yourself and be independent, then you can start sort of giving over your love and energy to other people a little bit more. And before we finish pile 3, I'm just going to get a couple of messages from the universe, from the Dragon Oracle deck. I think it's time for you to really start saving for your future too, pile 3. There is a need for you to reassess your sort of value and relationship with finances and your own self-care. But I think when you start investing in your own dreams, your own passions, what brings you pleasure in life, then that's going to start sort of looking after itself. Those things will take care of itself. Because energy is like for like. It's the law of attraction. When you start sort of loving yourself more, things start to fall into place for you. There you go. And your 2 cards, Silver Dragon, illuminate your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources. Look into your soul. See higher possibilities. Yes, okay. It's time to bring your dreams into fruition, pile 3, and to put yourself first, to start investing in yourself and your own pleasure, your own passions, because you have the possibility to really manifest something truly amazing. And through this retrograde period, I sense you're going to realize that your priorities are just as important as those other people that you've been allowing to take advantage of you or giving away your power to. And your last card here is the Fire Dragon. Burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. There you go, your soul pathway. Be determined and inspired. So you have the words determined and inspired. You have man related to the solar plexus chakra, and your confidence and self-determination. You've got pleasure here. And also the Knight of Pentacles and the Star card, indicating that it's really time for you to take care of yourself and to look after yourself, look after your own dreams, and to manifest your future, and believe in the limitless potential that you have within you. To put up some boundaries and not let other people take advantage, because your needs are just as important as everyone else's. That's all I have for you, pile 3. Yeah, go after your dream. Go after that North Star. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe. Go after that North Star. And let's move on to pile 4. Hello, pile 4, with the clear quartz seer crystal. I love this one. It's beautiful. I meditate with it all the time. Let's find out what Venus Retrograde will be bringing up for you in terms of your values and how you see the world and your interpersonal relationships by looking at your oracle cards. Your first card. Ooh, number 8, Divine Connection. Lovely. I love those lotus leaves sort of shining or emerging from the water. You have the you have the number 5 card, tree. Look at all those animals. You got a little rabbit, a squirrel, multiple birds, beautiful flowers, a butterfly. Nice. Okay, you have the crown chakra, which I'm actually not surprised to see. Number 43. Oh, interesting. You have the throat chakra too. 2 chakra cards. Number 29. Right, the first thing that stands out for me is the Divine Connection card, number 8. And the beautiful magenta sort of violet colors here, which also aligns with the crown chakra in terms of your divine connection. I do sense that you're quite in alignment, pile 4. You also have the throat chakra, indicating that your throat chakra is required in your life mission, I sense. But you're in alignment. You're like this tree, sort of standing tall. You're quite grounded, but you have a lot of the throat chakra also relating to like air energy and communication, your thoughts, your thought processes, being quite cerebral. But like the tree here, I think that you are tapping into some higher wisdom with the crown chakra too, and divine connection. That your knowledge is expanding. Your connection to the divine is strengthening. I am also picking up on the fact that you probably have a connection with nature too. That being out in nature, like with the divine connection card here, the woman standing in the water out in nature, and the tree card here, that you like to be in nature, and that you actually draw a lot of energy by spending time alone in nature and sort of meditating and recuperating. And that you have the ability sometimes, I suspect, also to like communicate with animals, that they sort of come up to you and have a bit of a chat to you sometimes. If you're sitting down meditating under a tree, then birds will just start like chirping away to you. And I think that's because you're quite connected. Your spirit guides send you messages, signs, synchronicities through animals communicating with you. I bet you see a lot of like repeating number patterns and stuff also, and it's because your crown chakra is wide open and in balance, like the lotus leaves opening up. Anyway, kind of digressing here. This isn't really what we're supposed to be talking about. But what I do sense for you over this retrograde period, pile 4, is that you'll be strengthening your connection even more and really starting to see a lot more beauty in life, because Venus retrograde, Venus is a planet that really rules love and beauty, how we see the world, what we hold dear in terms of our values, but also what brings us pleasure in life. And I sense that for you, what brings you pleasure is just being out in the world and seeing how magical it is and how beautiful it is, and that connection with the divine is strengthening, and that's only going to enhance your world so much more, because your inner world is starting to come in alignment with your outer world. And with the throat chakra here, I do sense that you have a gift of communication and channeling, similar to pile 1. But I do sense that you're, unlike pile 1, they're sort of tapping into this gift, but I sense you've always been connected, that you've always had a strong connection with the divine, and it's now time for you to really share that with the world by just communicating how beautiful the world really is. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a hard period for you at all, pile 4. It's about self-love. And also, yeah, just having more and more love with your surrounding environment. Sharing that love with the people that are around you, and actually trying to, I guess trying to like share some wisdom and insight that you are downloading all the time through your crown chakra. What a beautiful reading so far. On that, I'm just going to get the message from the guidebook for number 8 and divine connection, just to see what that has to say. So it says here water lily, so it's similar to a lotus, I think. Lily opens the crown chakra. There you go. Raises awareness and encourages enlightenment. That's a beautiful synchronicity in this reading, which is not surprising because you are quite connected. Selenite supports connection with the divine. Instead of looking externally for guidance, which can be open to misinterpretation or to put you at the mercy of someone else's agenda, focus on strengthening your own connection with the divine. That is your best, most reliable North Star, the guiding source that you can always follow, even through the darkest night. I look to my own North Star, and I am guided by the truth of my spirit. I am complete in myself and confident in my connection with the divine. Yes. You're having more faith in your connection with the divine through this period. I think this Venus retrograde period will allow you to reassess that connection and realize how strong it is. The more work that you put into it, the more you start to see and get back from the divine. Basically, your world is starting to brighten up around you. And you have a gift of channeling and being able to share that wisdom with the rest of the world. On that pile 4, let's get some further messages and insight from the universe. Oh, that just flew out, didn't it? From the 5 cent tarot deck. I do see the butterflies too in number 5 tree. 5 being the number of change in terms of how you see the world and your connection with spirit. Okay, wow. Oh, wow. Well, they just jumped out. But you also got butterflies here too, if you can see that. There's some butterflies in this card too, just in the corner there, which is all about transformation. I think your world is transforming and you are transforming also. You're on a parallel trajectory with your inner world, being in parallel with your outer world. And as you change internally and grow and start to love yourself more, you're starting to see that reflected in your outer world. And I think your mission here is to actually be able to share that guidance and support with other people, to let them know how beautiful and magical the world can be and what life is all about by actually doing some inner work and starting to love themselves. The cards that have jumped out here, you've got the 10 of Pentacles, which is all about ultimate satisfaction and happiness in life, raising a family and family bliss. But I think, and that might be part of your life purpose too. You may already have a family and it's about sharing that with your family too, this knowledge that you're downloading. But I really sense it's just about you coming into internal happiness and abundance. You've also got here the Wheel of Fortune. Another 10. 10's been the end of a cycle. If you have had some heartache and pain in the past, I think that you're starting to realize that was all for a purpose. Because all knowledge is knowledge, right? All knowledge is everything that you experience in life can only make you a lot more wise and grow. And I sense that your time is coming, that during this period, you're really going to start to see how connected you are with the divine. Even though this is in reverse, I sense that this is what you're overcoming, that it's time for you to shine, pile 4, and to really come into this place of just being really happy and enjoying living, enjoying the experience of living. And your final card here is the Sun card, which just flew out of the deck straight away when I started shuffling. And that's amazing. That is not surprising at all. Because you're shining, you're starting to shine. Your light is really bright and you're connecting with the divine, but having a lot more faith in your connection with the divine. The more work that you do internally is starting to be represented by what you see in your external world. And you do have a mission in life, I sense, Pile 4, and it's about being able to really share this knowledge with the rest of the world. You'll be like the child in the Sun card, just living moment to moment and just enjoying the gift of life, basically. And if you do have children, so there's children here in the 10 of Pentacles, and the Sun card in the Standard Tarot deck has the child riding on the back of the horse. Then I think you really have a gift of being able to relate to children quite well. That you can shine your light, and children really connect with you, I sense, in a real sort of innocent way. I do sense that maybe raising a family could be part of your life purpose too. But but that will only resonate with a few of you. Yeah, amazing. I love it when cards just jump out that are exactly what I'm trying to communicate at the right time. On that powerful, let's get some further messages and insight from the Dragon Oracle deck. So I don't see Venus Retrograde being a really troubling time at all for you, powerful. I just think you need to really sort of spend more time meditating and connecting with nature, and things will just fall into place. So you have a gift of channeling, and also of just being able to really communicate the joy of life to other people. Okay, wow. All right, okay, this has come out 3 out of the 4 readings, this card. Expand your light for ascension. That is not surprising, because you are ascending. You are coming into alignment with the divine and starting to really see the magic in life and operate like that child that just sees the joy in every moment. Being out in nature and communicating with birds and having joy with rabbits sort of jumping in front of you and stuff like that. Be a peaceful warrior. Help those in need. Remember your magnificence. And your final card, this also came out. Look, you've got the oh wow, you got the lotus leaf or the lily opening up and blossoming, which is like the sun, and the lilies in number 8 divine connection card brings firm love that resets your karmic balance. There you go, karmic balance with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse ending. See all your cords dissolve by transcendent love. Enjoy your freedom. Look for the divine all around you. There you go. Okay, that card really communicated quite strongly what I'm trying to articulate, that you it's time for you to really just see the divine all around you, and to really operate from your heart center with love and compassion, and to share your sun, your light with the rest of the world. You have a gift that you are meant to sort of share with other people, a gift of communication, like the books here, because you're coming into alignment. It says here, reset your karmic balance. This Wheel of Fortune is turning in the upright position. You are ending one cycle, like the other 10 here, and just coming into real bliss, a real blissful state. Wow, this is a beautiful reading for you, powerful. Yeah, I sense that you've been called upon to really shine your light as bright as you possibly can. And I don't think that's going to be very hard for you, because I think it's something that happens quite naturally. That's all I have for you, powerful. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you in the next reading.